And now let's head over to the Mississippi and the Arsenal. And he's Todd Fowler, and he's in the midst of a junior golf tournament. Day number 2 in the books. Let's talk a little bit about it, Todd.
Yeah, well, good tournament here. The AJGA Junior at Quad Cities, playing it for the first time at the Arsenal. And, gosh, I've seen some great golf swings and some pretty nice scoring from some pretty young people. Pretty exciting.
Todd, what I know we saw the last round's or the first day's score was up on the internet. They haven't had second round scores. I think one person broke par the first day. How's the scoring been over there after day 2?
I'll tell you what, they went up a little bit today. We got pretty windy this afternoon. We got 2 boys right now leading the boys division at even par. Both of them played in the worst conditions of both days. They both played in heavy rains yesterday morning, and they both played in the wind this afternoon. So I was really impressed with where those guys came from. And then one of the AJGA All-Americans last couple of years, Emma Talley from Princeton, Kentucky, is our girls' leader. She's got a 2-shot lead. She's 1 over par, 171-72 on the card for her.
Hey, Todd, for all of our listeners across the state listening, define the age group of these kids, boys and girls, and give people a feel for what AJGA is that they aren't familiar with it.
The AJGA is an association that plays, I think they said, 85 golf tournaments throughout the season, all around the country and even Puerto Rico. And their mission is to provide a great environment for these kids to compete and earn college scholarships to play golf in college. And I'll tell you, these kids are competing. They're anywhere from 12 to 18 years old. Our youngest boy in the field is 14. And we do have a 12-year-old girl, and it sounds like she might have made the cut. So that's pretty impressive.
So you play 4 rounds or 3 rounds? I know you've had the first 2 rounds for qualifying, and then you have the cut. Do they play 2 rounds after the cut?
No, tomorrow they just play 18. It's a 54-hole event, and tomorrow morning they're planning on playing 18 holes to decide their winners. And a lot more into it than that, too. Boy, whatever place you get more exemptions on the tour, more credit and star power, I guess it's called, on their tour. And that status is really important because at the end of the year you want to get into the polo match play, kind of like their Tournament of Champions. And boy, that's win that baby. I think your college full ride is pretty much sewn up.
Well, Todd, I know you well enough to know that you're probably walking around with Kansas State golf balls and tees and gloves and just dropping them around, hoping maybe one of those guys heads down to Manhattan. You haven't been making any phone calls to Coach Norris, have you?
Judd, great question. I'm walking around on pins and needles. I'm a booster. I don't want to get my program on probation. So if K-State gets 3 of these guys and wins the national championship next year, I'm pretty sure I'll be on ESPN. But no, I tell you what, I hope the kids do what I was able to do, and that's just find a great place, a coach that they can trust, be comfortable with, and a school that they want to go to. Because obviously, the chances of playing on the PGA Tour, it's such a global tour anymore. They're not real good, but I'll tell you, you get a chance to play golf and get a great education, and I hope they keep their focus and do the right things so they can make the next step and be a positive one for them.
Well, I hate to tell you, alum Judd Gibb, of course, from Iowa State, and of course Todd Fowler from K-State. Anyone in the Big 12, you don't even know what conference you might be in the next year or two, so you don't have to worry about sanctions or anything right now. You just have to figure out what conference you guys are going to be aligned with.
Boy, it's got to be scary, doesn't it, Jubb?
Well, Todd and I butted heads in the now defunct Big 8 conference, and when
Big 8.
When I say we butted heads, we ran into each other and just fell down. We didn't really impact the finish of the tournament, but you never know what's going to happen to I guess all of college the way things are going.
It's like I said, sounds like a time bomb's about ready to go off with everything.
Well, we're broadcasting in the Quad Cities where Todd's calling in from right now, and we're broadcasting in Sioux City, my old hometown, right there in the Missouri, and most of those people are Nebraska fans, sad to say for me. In fact, Nebraska football is live on 620 KMNS up there. They are going to join the great Big Ten on Friday, boys. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's a great move. I'm going to be a Husker fan now.
Oh, you're going to be a Husker fan now.
I grew up
to piss me off.
I grew up a Husker fan. Then
Please tell me you're not going to be a Husker fan.
I sure as heck aren't going to be a Hawk fan, I don't think.
Oh, please.
Go Big Red.
What about you, Todd?
I'll tell you, I bleed purple, and I didn't have the grades to get in Northwestern, so I guess I'm going to be stuck with K-State, whether they whether they're in the Big Something or the Conference USA or wherever we end up. I guess I'm just going to have to find somebody else to hate. But I'm with Judd. I'm going to have a hard time. But I'm going to have a hard time rooting for Nebraska. That's
Thank you.
I might start. I'll be over here with my Hawkeye buddies.
There you go, buddy.
Guys.
Todd, you can come on this show anytime you want with that.
He lives
state.
in eastern Iowa. You know, I'm telling you right now, if it was off the air,
He works in Moline.
Yeah, that's prime Hawkeye country and Illini country.
Yeah, you're Big Ten country there, Wildcat.
I really am. I'm an outsider. I don't mind it.
Hey, well, you know, we're coming down. Judd's playing in the John Deere Classic, and we're coming down that week. You mind if four of us come and invade your course, and you know, you can warn all your members, and you can warn the superintendent that we're coming down and play a little golf.
I insist, you guys. The course is in great shape, and the beer's always cold.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking time to update us. We'll have you on from time to time, and we'll see you in about 4 weeks.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for checking in.
You betcha. Todd Fowler of the Arsenal. Well, it's actually the Rock Island Arsenal Club, isn't that?
Yeah. When you said calling from the Mississippi, he's in the middle of the Mississippi River. It's an island right there.
And you know, I went online when we had him the first time and looked at it, and Tim Dara TD has also played it. He said one of the best, and he's played all over the country just like you guys. He said one of the coolest experiences is playing that course.
It's fun.
Yeah, I used to work over there in the Quad Cities at Crow Valley, and the Arsenal is by far and away one of the nicest places to go play. It's just, you know, you're right there on the river. You're right there in the whole military base. I mean, you got to go through a guard shack to get out there, and it's why I like the old traditional course. Go out on number 1, come back in on number 18. You know, number 10 tees way out in the middle of nowhere, and
now they established it initially back, you know, about 1896, specifically for military personnel.
I think it was like a Civil War, prisoner of war camp, because there's that Civil War cemetery, a Confederate cemetery on the island. I think that's what it is. Somebody from the Quad Cities will probably call and correct me, but yeah, it's a neat place. And you get on the first green in the second tee box, the Mississippi River is above you at that point. I mean, you want to talk about trusting a levee. There's sometimes you're down there going, okay, the thing's been holding for a lot of years. I hope it doesn't decide to give way now, but it's neat. It's a neat place.
I remember playing a golf tournament there in the flood years. I can't remember which one of the years where the Mississippi was real high. They had sandbags up there. You're on that first tee, and literally the sandbags are
above
20 feet above your head. If something breaks, you're in a heap of trouble.
You better hope that club car or that Easy Go you can gun it to the clubhouse.
You got to figure. I always figure to myself, the last place something like that's going to happen is going to be a military base. They're going to shore, those guys. They're going to shore up that before they go out and shore up the other side of the river. So, yeah, neat place. And Todd does a great job. The one thing, we talk about Todd being a Kansas State guy. He's from Rockford, Illinois. So, he's grown up.
So he's in the home area then.
Oh yeah. Well, he's closer to home.
Yeah. Well, I know he's a Cubs fan. I do know that. Hey, let's talk AJGA just for a minute now that you guys can talk about it. Is it safe to say that the kids that are on that tour are probably the best in their respective communities then? For the most part?
Yeah, the AJG is a great environment for these kids to go play college golf. That's what the tour is meant there for. It's somewhat watered down in a way regionally. Most of the kids that are playing here are from Illinois, from Iowa, from Ohio, close by the Midwest, because there's 3 other golf tournaments going on at the same time in all different parts of the country regionally. But that's what Todd mentioned about the polo, what these kids are trying to get into, is the ones that win. I mean, if you win an AJG event, yeah, your phone's going to be ringing off the hook. You're going to get letters from everybody.
This is like Nike basketball camps.
A bit, yeah. I mean, you have one good week, and it can really set you up.
You're in Vegas or Indianapolis, you have a good weekend high school Nike camp, your phone rings off the wall.
You have a good week here, you're going to get noticed, but then you're going to get exemptions, like he mentioned, into the bigger tournaments, the polo and some other ones. And if you go play well there, then yeah, you're going to be set up wherever you want to go. But it's a great experience for the kids, and they do a good job, playing a great golf course, but giving back to the golf course too.
Well, and this was always, a fun tournament to go to for you and I, because it was close.
Every weekend, your husband calls his buddies, grabs his clubs, and hits the course for a day of golfing and fun. Must be nice, right? Well, who says us girls can't do the same?
Ladies, it's time to get in the swing of things at Willow Creek Golf Course. Willow Creek is offering a new beginner golfers clinic just for us ladies. This is an awesome opportunity to learn the basics of the game. You'll learn everything from how to book a tee time to how to hit the ball. Willow Creek Golf Course offers a variety of class days and times for your convenience. Classes are starting soon, so you have to hurry. Call your friends and make it a group experience. Ladies, it's time to get in the swing of things at Willow Creek Golf Course. Contact the Willow Creek Driving Range today at 285-5902. 285